All right, Shalom. I'm going to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all the Akim out there pushing the word of sincerity and the truth. Just going to go into, the article on Business Insider going into basically how this government shutdown is basically crippling the economy. All right, and this is other signs of the end of America, which is known as Babylon the Great. And the Bible has been prophesied, of course, thousands of years ago, that this last kingdom written in the Bible would fall, man. For the individuals that don't understand the fullness of the prophecy, but the scriptures speak about foretells America, which America is built upon rape, robbery, and wickedness. The destroying of the blacks, Latinos, and Native American, who are the Israelites of the scriptures. This kingdom is going to fall. All right, and these different politicians, these different individuals in the high up position, these high officials, they're going to fall with this kingdom, man. Because these individuals, whether it's the Senate, the House of Representatives, your mayors, your local officials, federal officials, their forefathers were slave masters. All right, they were all about pushing the agenda for the establishment of the blue bloods, which they look at as the high up Edomites, the white people, and keeping you blacks and Latinos in a low destitute state. But now the chicken or the roosters is coming home to roost, and this is a prime example of America and its fall under this document, amongst many others. But this is on the Business Insider. It says the warnings are getting starker. Trump's government shutdown is becoming catastrophic for the economy. All right, and I'm gonna read a little bit. The U.S. government shutdown is now the longest in the country's history and has shown no signs of abating. And the word abate, of course, to make base or stopping. And this is actually, revving up, because Trump is trying to get the money, of course, to establish that wall. And that wall is not to only keep the the Latin tribes throughout Central and South America, mainly Mexico, out, but keeping you Israelites in, man. Because Trump is pushing the agenda of the elites, the Illuminati, the banking families, and they're creating this wall because the U.S. government is going to go into martial law. There's going to be all kind of hectic, chaotic events that's going to hit the streets of America. And this is just preparations. All right. That's why you've had all kind of videos showing that there's been mass amount of MRAPs and tanks being shipped from different parts of the United States. The government buying, stockpiling on weaponry, bullets and things of that nature. The chemtrails and all kind of aerial pesticides or aerial, I would say, poisons have been descended upon the people to break down their immune system, as well as pesticides and herbicides being pushed in the food and genetically modified to destroy the bodies of the people, because there's going to come a time where America's going to try to, pursuing the Revelations 12 and 12, crack down on the blacks and Latinos in this country on a full. And it's starting now. And that's why this U.S. government shutdown has been, going the extra mile, because Trump he's going to get that money. He's grinding tooth and nail to get the specific funding that he needs in order to establish that wall. So it says J.P. Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon has suggested that U.S. economic growth could go to zero, and one analyst said it could even go negative. Right, and this is all just signs of America's fall, which has been prophesied thousands of years ago. You have the prophets Jeremiah and Isaiah speaking on the fall of ancient Babylon, but those prophecies are still in play today with the virgin daughter of Babylon. All right, and you have these U.S. economic analysts that study and analyze the economy on a micro and a macro level, and they see that the American economy is basically tanking, man. So continuing on, the U.S.-China trade war and a looming conflict about the debt ceiling are creating a perfect storm, right? So all these things are culminating and they're building up to the fall and the major collapse of this country, because you have Russia that's no longer trading with U.S. currency. You know, Iran and various countries ditching the dollar, and they're establishing their own trading markets. They're establishing their own geoeconomic trade deals outside of the United States. They're basically leaving the United States influence on the whole. All right. And if China, the United States, if they look to go to war or fight some of these countries such as Iran, they're backed by various countries that's not going to allow that to happen. So it says we're 26 days into the record-breaking United States government shutdown, and while most economists agree it will weigh on U.S. economic growth, the chorus of warnings about doomsday scenarios is getting louder. Right, and you had this individual, I forget his name, but he was saying that if you don't hear the war drums beating, then you're basically dead. You know, you can look that quote up, you know, and just like they said, the chorus of warnings about doomsday is getting louder. So the pitch of America's fall is increasing amongst the ears of the people. It was something, you know, decades ago in the 50s and 60s, you couldn't say that America was going to fall. You couldn't say that the government was going to shut down and it's going to be a screeching halt on benefits to the masses of the people. People wouldn't have believed that, but you know, these shutdowns, since the shutdown approach, you know, a lot of people have lost, you know, their jobs. They lost a lot of opportunities. They're losing benefits to feed their family. And like I said, this is the largest or the longest government shutdown in United States history. So that speaks volumes on the condition that America is in, you know, and how your government gives a hell less, you know, about the people, the masses of the people, whether you're going to feed your kids or not. The government doesn't care. Donald Trump and his staff could care less about the good will of the people, you know, what the people are actually going through. He wants the full amount of money so that he could get that wall built to keep you Latin tribes out of this place, man. You know, and it's showing you a lot of hatred that this white man has for you tribes, man. He doesn't look at you like a citizen, like a fully obligated citizen, a citizen that's welcome here. He looks at you like a pest. He looks at you like a virus. He looks at you like a roach and and basically a sickness. You know, like I said, like a pest, and that's why these you know, the staff of the United States government is looking to come against you tribes. So continuing on, government shutdown has typically lasted a few days or a couple weeks, but the fight between Donald Trump and Democrats appears set to continue for much longer. According to economists, the negative effects of the shutdown will only grow as the ripple effects from 800,000 federal employees and millions of government contractors going without pay spread through the country. Right. So this is just more to show that this place is going to fall, man. You know, here it is, 800,000 federal employees and millions of government contractors are going without pay. You know, and like I said, that speaks a lot about the condition that America's in. And that's really breaking of biblical law, because if somebody will work, then they would are supposed to get paid by that evening time. All right. They're not supposed to leave their whatever they're on a plantation, whatever they're cutting timber, whatever type of labor service they're doing after their labor is finished, then they would need some form of compensation. But America, first off, they don't pay you in the right style of pay. They give you wages, you know, wage slavery, and then they make you wait weeks in a hole. And this is just a whole nother level. All right, they're making you work months grinding, and you're not even getting paid nothing, man. You know, and these devils are trying to save this place. They're trying to do everything in their grips to keep this place established, and they're going through austerity measures, man. And there's gonna come a time where they're gonna start taking money out of you citizens' banks accounts. They're gonna freeze your bank account. They're going to make it where you don't have any type of freedom to go into your account without authorization of the government, and you have to be chipped and tracked. All right, this is becoming very, very dystopian. All right, it's becoming very, very totalitarian. You know, it's becoming like a full-scale dictatorship. All right, where the rights of the people are totally suspended. And that's how we know without a shadow of a doubt that America is going to go into martial law also. So this is Ezekiel 7:6. And end is come, the end is come. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come. Right. So we're in the times of the end. All right. In the time of Generation Y, you see how the conditions of the people. Sin is at an all-time high. Majority of the people don't look for the ways of righteousness, don't look for the ways of truth. They're not following the path of the Most High. Satanism and wickedness is on a all-time high. And the Lord is going to have to break this place down as he did the previous kingdoms that followed idols, that followed the paths of wickedness rather than turning to that which is right. All right. And this is the last days, man. You know, and America will fall through thermonuclear fire in this third world war, when these different major countries, lock horns, such as Russia, China, Iran, the United States, then it's going to get nuclear, man. All right, so this is 2nd Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and there's been going on, uproars all throughout these different countries in Europe, Africa, South America, because the rights of the people are being stripped bare. They're seeing the privileges, government privileges being taken away from them, and they're seeing all kind of scandals and wickedness that the authority is actually permitting to the individuals in the elevated seat, and it's going without any type of punishment. So the people are uproaring, and there's been all kind of disasters, natural disasters, and earthquakes, things of that nature that's been hitting this place, hitting the world on a whole. And these are prophetic signs to show that this that the end of the world is coming, and that the world represents the kingdom of the Edomites. That's why it tells you that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right, because after this kingdom falls, after wickedness is uprooted by the Lord Yahweh Shah, then righteousness can be established and peace can come. But before peace, there is going to be war. It's going to be times of Jacob trouble. There's going to be times where the government is going to make it mandate certain things, such as the RFID microchip for the people to take. So continuing on, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, right, which is prophecy. The word prophesy means to say before. Prophets wrote these words, and they were to receive the vision of the Most High of things that were to come in latter days. And us in these days now, we're fulfilling it by walking it and seeing it manifest right before our eyes. All right. Even from the beginning. All right. Verse 5. Like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Verse 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. Verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. Right. So you have to be in a level of endurance. You have to have a high level of endurance, a high level of spirituality and knowledge and wisdom to understand what's going on. Because this government shutdown, majority of the people are scratching their heads, not knowing what's going on. But we, the men of the Lord, the men of the know, we know exactly what's going on. This is the fall of America. This is the fall of the last kingdom written in the book of Daniel. All right. And the uprising of the nation of Israel, starting off, with the prophets, the apostles, the righteous men. Like the scripture says, the nation full of kings and priests, the tabernacles of David being re-risen. And, these are definitely beautiful times. So, that's all I have for Aki. I really just wanted to hit the point on this article and really go into how America is basically tanking and it's circling the drain on a heavy and strong level.